Please hit us.
Okay, I actually have two questions now after that. The first one is very quick because I hear a lot of different conflicting information on, people say don't bother sending CDs anymore, it'll just end up at the bottom of a pile, use email, etc. So what do you think is really the best delivery device for you guys as
MP3s?
The ones who are doing the reviewing?
I didn't say I wouldn't listen to it. I was going to end up in a pile. They do end up in a pile on my desk, but I always listen to them. But what's the best method? Mm-hmm. I know. I think I talked about that. I think I said, send me something. Fucking deliver it in person. That's awesome.
You'd rather have a hard copy, though, than digital? I think that's what they would like to know, Seth. What do you think?
Is it as cut and dry as that? Okay.
I'm sorry to be boring.
That's okay.
I'm old.
I would prefer a hard copy. It's more personal. I like it. That's just my preference.
Okay. And the other thing is...
Sorry.
If anyone wanted to hear what my take was, I didn't. I don't necessarily even have a preference. It's like print versus digital. I don't necessarily separate the two, but a hard copy you can put in your car and listen on your way home from work. So that always helps.
I would say though that sometimes that I'm just speaking for myself because I'm kind of retarded when it comes to these kind of things. But somebody sent me recently a copy that wasn't MP3s, but it was some other nonsense, and it was I had to download Windows Media and blah, blah, and I'm
that can be a problem.
Sometimes that can
a CD how to
operate. A CD I can just put in. MP3s or zip files are fine, but it's he sent me some nonsense. I was just what the fuck is this?
I think if it's something that I know it's going to be if
band you've heard of?
Yeah, then MP3s is fine. Right. I think it's easier. But if it's a newer artist or a local artist, I think a CD is probably better because it's more versatile.
I like art.
You'll have more chances to exactly, and also give you more of a chance to present yourself and album art and all that stuff it's all ways to distinguish yourself from the pack, as it were. So
because they're getting in so many packages, to make them do an extra step. Oh, hey, you got to download this. I think that's just a pain in the ass for you. Yeah. That's why I prefer to send. For my newer clients, I prefer to send a hard copy.
It's it's one click, but at the same time,
still, it takes time and
but at the same time, it's sometimes you run into problems, and then there's also
Hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. I wanted it to be a short question because I actually had another, and I didn't want to.
We are all very long-winded. There's a
lot of ego that goes into.
But thank you for those answers.
By the way, I disagree with him, but we'll get to that.
Okay. And the other is, so in order to get publicity, you had to be a certain level of artist, but I would, many of us are not there yet. I don't even have a band. I just have a demo that I put together with friends of mine.
I would love to hear it.
But it's a good demo, I think. But is that even acceptable to send to you if we've been playing in all the cool North Park bars for
Absolutely.
a year?
A great example, and I don't want to get too specific, but there was a band that just sent me a random CDR last year, just out of the blue. I didn't really listen to it right away, but then when I did, it was amazing. And they've still only played 3 shows. Some of my best discoveries have been, just people sending me their stuff, and I embrace them and make sweet love to them and so on. Yes, of course. And but absolutely. Don't ever be feel I'm not doing this the right way. This is only to provide tips or whatever. There's no right or wrong way to doing that. Just send it because we want to hear it.
Yeah, and there's no sort of minimum criteria of how professional it is or how well represented you are, what you've done. Yeah, if it's cool, it's cool. And especially, for my paper, I think with Seth as well, kind of more the alt weekly type thing. We want to discover things. We don't want to write about.
And you want local stuff to discover as
Absolutely.
well.
That's the other thing that I was going to say. It is, a lot of what I work with is local bands, and and obviously a lot of them, have only played one show. They don't, they all live together in a flop house somewhere, and since we are pretty local centric, and I imagine CityBeat is similar. If you're not from our coverage area and you don't have a show necessarily in that coverage area, I think a lot of papers have that same mentality that it won't be I mean, it's not like it won't get listened to, but it won't be as high a priority. It's kind of thing you always have to know who you're targeting, I guess, and how best to approach them.
Good. Thank you. You're welcome.